the strategies that I see people implementing today is they'll say, I'm going to put some content out. I'm going to spend a bunch of money on video ads, and they're cheap, and we'll build this audience. And then we'll come back and remarket to them the advertising. That's been kind of like the strategy. In fact, I used to teach that.
Yeah.
The new way I believe you can do it is you can provide strategy. So for example, let's say I've got 7 tips to be a better content marketer, right? So I could deliver the 7 tips in the video, here's tip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then at the end say, hey, I'm having a free web class that's going to reveal actually 14 more, and these are the ones that actually will turn my content into profit. So you're still branding, giving value, but then you drove them to the thing that actually makes you money, and then you'll see that you generate more revenue.
Yeah.
I'm Shayna. I love dogs, I trip a lot, and I happen to have a knack for making pretty sweet videos for businesses. But the more videos we made, the more questions I got about how video and other content can be leveraged to make a bigger impact in their marketing. I mean, 44% of marketers say that producing content is their biggest challenge, yet content marketing is 62% less expensive than outbound and produces 3 times more leads. Now, I know a lot, but I certainly don't know it all, so I made it my mission to talk with content kings, queens, and bosses to learn as much as I could about crushing content marketing, and I'm taking you along with me. Welcome to the Content Coalition.
Hey guys, thanks so much for joining us again today. We are at Traffic and Conversion Summit 2019, so if you hear some madness behind us, please excuse the noise, but we're in a really cool spot.
Yeah, we're having fun.
I ran into Vince Reed again, and he was like, dude, let's sit down and let's chat about ads. Actually, I'm really excited because he wants to talk about how to actually make money with your ads, which is really a problem that the people who are doing it well don't have that problem, but they need somebody like this guy to tell them how to make money with their ads. So Vince, thanks so much for coming on today, and tell us how's your day been so far?
Everything's been great. Everything's been great. You know, I speak tomorrow, so that's exciting. So I'm just kind of getting myself together, going over the presentation so I don't bomb in front of 500-600 people. But other than that, everything's good.
Cool. What's your talk on?
How to make money with your ads. Actually, it's called the social search method. It's really teaching people how to combine everything.
Right on.
Most people look at advertising like I'm going to do Facebook ads or Instagram ads, and they kind of forget search like YouTube and Google.
Yeah.
So I'm going to teach them how to bring everything together and make it all work as one.
That's cool, because to some that may, well, to me even, I'm in like marketing. Right. That feels that feels like overwhelming to have to be on all of these platforms and then figure out how they work together.
Right.
So do you break that down?
I make that really simple. Really simple.
Oh, I'm excited.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to break away from the booth and come and
check
that out.
It's gonna be good.
Or we can do like a sneak preview here.
Let's do it.
After your talk, so that's okay.
Yeah,
cool.
no problem.
Awesome. So let's get into the nitty gritty of it. So your whole big thing is, make ads that actually make you money, right?
Right, absolutely.
So top level, like what does that look like? We're talking to content marketers, they understand like the power of content, but like how do you transfer that into actual ads? Okay,
so what most people do today is they're conflicted, right? So they see influencers out there and they've got all these followers, they've got all these people, and then they go, well, maybe I should run some ads, and they end up spending money on ads to try to be famous and to try to be an influencer. And then after they've lost $2,000, $3,000, they go, that didn't work. I barely have any new followers, and I just lost all my money.
Yeah.
So there's a way to actually do both. There's a way to actually run ads that actually get your products and services sold, but also build your brand and obviously turn you into the influencer you want to be.
Right. And so what would be the first way, or give us top tier, how do you do that? I know it's a fully loaded question.
No, that's fine. So step number 1 is obviously you've got to have a great offer, and you've got to have something that's going to solve a problem, right? It starts with that. If you don't have a great offer, Jesus can be running your ads and you're not going to make any money, all right? So you have to have a great offer, and it starts with that. So step 1, figure out your offer. Step 2 is just really figure out who you're offering your offer to. A lot of times people are speaking to everyone, and I have a rule. You don't want to be everything to everyone. You want to be everything to someone.
Right.
All right. So when you're running ads, who are you speaking to? So if you're targeting, like you were talking about podcasts, then your content would speak to them. If you're talking to content marketers, then you'd speak to them. But at least the person that's watching the ad, they go, okay, cool. That person's talking to me.
Right.
So that helps your conversions as well. And then just the overall structure and how you're actually running your ads. Like sometimes, people hear people doing certain things and they go try it, and that's not really the purpose. The purpose of actually investing in ads is to turn a profit. If you want to be famous, then just post for free and post a lot of content and you don't have to spend any money, and then you can't get upset that it didn't convert.
Right.
But the reason you run an ad is to turn a profit. Otherwise, don't spend money on it because you're wasting your money.
For sure. So you're saying like making sure that you have an audience that you're talking to specifically. How do you feel about niching and niching and niching? Because we have some folks who are saying like niche really hard to the point where you feel like you're excluding a lot of people. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think there's a balance. I don't think there's a problem with niching down really tight, but I think you can open it up as well. I mean, you don't want to put yourself in a box. Number one, that's going to be difficult because I'm assuming if you're watching this, you're an entrepreneur, and we do not like being chained into some kind of box, right? So don't do this. Anybody that tells you that, it changes too much. Things change. But I think that you have to have some level of discipline to speak to a person so they feel like certain that what you're teaching them is going to work. Because I've been saying this a lot today for some reason, it seems to keep coming up, but most people believe things are possible for you, they just don't believe that it's possible for them.
Right.
So your job is to make sure that you're developing content that makes the person believe and have some level of certainty that it can work for them.
Awesome. So how do you feel about the value-based content, like the give content then in this strategy?
I think it's good, but I think that what a lot of people do with the give strategy is they forget to actually sometimes solve the problem. So the strategies that I see people implementing today is they'll say, I'm going to put some content out, I'm going to spend a bunch of money on video ads and they're cheap and we'll build this audience, and then we'll come back and remarket to them the advertising. That's been kind of like the strategy. In fact, I used to teach that.
Yeah.
The new way I believe you can do it is you can provide strategy. So for example, let's say I've got 7 tips to be a better content marketer. Right? So I could deliver the 7 tips in the video. Here's tip 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then at the end say, hey, I'm having a free web class that's going to reveal actually 14 more. And these are the ones that actually will turn my content into profit. So you're still branding, giving value, but then you drove them to the thing that actually makes you money, and then you'll see that you generate more revenue.
Yeah, and if they've got through all 7, then they're clearly
right, then they're clearly
interested.
You're going to see higher conversion. So that's really one of the tweaks that I've seen that will help you.
I like that, and people are afraid to ask now because it's all like give value, but then the ask has been kind of eliminated.
Well, you actually aren't really giving value if you don't solve their problem. So like if you're just giving value and they go, oh, that's a good idea, but the problem is still there, then you didn't really give them value. You just kind of wasted their time, to be honest with you, right? So
all you think you're giving.
Right, like solve their problem, and that's what they're there for, and that's what they want. And I was at an event one time, actually one of my events, there was one of my best friends was speaking at one of my events, and he said, you know what, I was going to offer something, but I'm not going to offer something. And then people started clapping, and he said, you know what, actually, you shouldn't be clapping that I'm not going to offer anything because I have things that could actually help you. And if you are happy that you aren't getting offered anything, then you don't want to be helped.
Yeah.
And then people were like, whoa. And then they're like, someone's like, offer something. So he's like, okay, we'll sell something. But anyways, my point is, like, don't be afraid to make your offer because there are people out there that want their problem solved, right? So anyways.
Yeah, no, it's funny that he flipped the script on it.
Right.
It was like, I'm not going to offer you anything.
Right,
Sorry.
exactly. Because he came kind of running in and he wasn't expected to speak. And he was just like, oh, I'm going to go up there. But it was a great teaching point.
Yeah.
And I always think about that to this day.
That's great. And it's funny because sometimes, like, depending on the event, when you speak, like I've run into the thing where they don't want you to pitch anything when you're on stage. It's like, well, why do you have me here then?
Right,
Because I can
exactly.
offer value.
Exactly.
I can actually offer a service that helps.
You mean like what's happening to me tomorrow? But anyways, we'll keep it going.
All right, so then how do you and your business help solve these problems?
We really just focus on a couple of things. We run a digital agency. It's a done with you digital agency. So we educate the business owner and teach them the ways in which we run ads, but we also help them set them up as well. So they get account managers that help them set up plans. They get me each and every week. We do like these massive Zoom calls with all these entrepreneurs, and I get to look at their ads and help them with strategies. Because what I found as an agency is that we have entrepreneur brain, which is changing and evolving. I would find, let's say I was working with you. You say, Vince, let's market this thing we're doing. I'd be the agency and I'd be working all the stuff. And then you'd call me the next day, I had this idea of we should do this other thing. And I'm like, go try to set that up, and like, nothing works because I'm like trying to chase you. So we just like, why don't we just teach you how we actually run the ads, right? And when you have those ideas in the middle of the night, just call your account manager. Let's help you set that up. And then when you want to talk to me, once a week, we'll jump on and I'll help you actually get it done right. So we shifted, and it's been blowing up because the businesses are getting better results because now they're not like giving me information just hoping I can get it done, but it's not truly what's in their brain of what they want to get done.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes sense. So as an entrepreneur, sometimes we tend to make things easier it's not what we really want, but we just want to get it done. So we were like water down what we really want.
Right.
And I felt like that happens a lot with an agency business relationship. So you're just giving me bare minimum just to get it done, instead of like going to bed at night and saying, I got this amazing thing I want to do, and now you know how to do it, and we can actually help you get that's going on done.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So speaking of the entrepreneur brain where we're like all over the place, like, so how long would you say is enough time to start knowing if your ads are performing? Because some people give up really early.
Absolutely. There actually is a way to know. So what would you say one of your products or services is the cost of that product or service?
$479 a month.
Okay, so $479 a month. So the way to actually know if it worked is when you're running your ad campaigns, number one, you want to make sure, and this is a tip, you guys make sure you write this down, with specifically social media ads, what you're really battling against with social media ads is the algorithm. And the algorithm loves variety, all right? The algorithm with Facebook is unlike anything that most of us, or actually will ever understand. So what we have to do is, what most people do is they set up one ad set, and one ad campaign. And they spend, like, let's say $500 on that one ad. It doesn't work. They get mad. They go, the ad campaign didn't work. It wasn't that it didn't work. It was just because of the way that you're charged, which is on a CPM basis, which means that they're charging you $1 to $3 based on every 1,000 people that see your ads. Now, there's millions of people on Facebook, billions, and maybe the people that saw your ad, the thousands of people, just weren't interested. It didn't mean that your ad didn't work. It just means that the people that they showed it to at that point didn't agree with the algorithm. And that's why you see a variety in up and down in performance. That's why if you increase your ad spend when it was working, everything crashes, because it shifts the algorithm.
Sure.
So what you've got to do is have multiple ad sets and numerous numbers of ads. So what it's doing is the algorithm is just putting those ads out in front of people, and you want your ads to work well or to get a great reaction well, you have to give it variety so it has enough things. So you need to have video ads and short ads and long ads and images and all kinds of stuff that are running at multiple ad sets, and you'll get better results. So how do you turn an ROI? If each one of those ad sets, let's say you have 20 different ad sets, so you find 20 different interest groups, and you've got 5 ads tied to each one of those interest groups, right? Instead of just, I'm going to target entrepreneurs and have one ad, now you've got like a lot of different interest groups and 5 or 6 ads tied to each interest group, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you're only spending $10 each on each one of those interest groups. So now if one doesn't work, you only lost $10, but you've got the other money going to the other ones, and the algorithm is working. So you've like hedged your bet basically to see what's going to happen. So how do you know if it works? So if you're spending $10 a day, it's based on ROI. So it would take you, if your product's $500, divide 10 by 497 or whatever the price point was, if that is higher than the cost of your product, so if it gets to the point where you spent $500 and you didn't make $400, you didn't turn an ROI.
Right.
All right, so that's how you know it didn't work. The other way, you just spent $500 with one ad campaign, and you just blew it. It didn't work because you didn't give the algorithm what it needs. That was extremely high level, and some of you probably have no idea what I just said. I encourage you to go back and kind of listen to it again.
Yeah, for sure.
But my point is, give the ad algorithm room to grow and food to eat. Hedge your bet by betting smaller amounts on multiple ad sets. So instead of spending $500 on one ad, spend $500 on 50 ads.
Yeah.
That makes sense, right? And then at the end of that, look and check the ROI against what your product price point is.
That's awesome. Right. That's awesome. Have you found a sweet spot on length? I know that you're saying some long, some short. Like, is there?
It just depends, and that's the thing, because like you're gonna have. That's the thing. Like, see, right now, let's say you go and you target digital marketing as an interest group, and you spend $500 a day or whatever. Let's just say a day. What worked? You don't know who's in the digital marketing audience,
right.
But if I broke it down into, like, let's say 10 influencers, 10 different marketing tools, 10 different books, and I can see it, I'm spending $10 a day, I can see what works. And there's also certain KPIs that you have to know you're hitting. So like specific click-through rates, for example, you want to make sure you're above 1%. If it's lower than 1%, that would be an ad that's not hitting at KPI. There's certain KPIs. So when you're looking at it, you're checking your KPI. That's all you care about. You care about the KPIs if they're getting hit, which we teach and stuff to our partners. But
sure.
I don't want to go. We'll go down another rabbit hole. Yeah. So you look at your KPIs. If you're hitting KPIs, you can keep all the ads running, and you will see a profit. Because it's all about ROI. It's not about cost per lead. It's not about cost per click. I don't care if you're getting a $15 lead. It doesn't matter if you're spending $10 a day. You might get a $15 lead, and you might only have 12 leads. but you might pop 3 sales.
Right.
Right? So what we look at who don't know, I should say people that don't know, they're looking at the cost per lead. So if it's like $6, oh my God, it's bad. But it's about ROI.
Right. If you sold a $2,000
Right.
product, then whatever.
Right.
You know?
If it's hitting at KPI and the ads are working, then you should be fine.
That's awesome. And I know you're saying like this is super high level, and even this is a lot to take
Right.
because you just rattled off like so much amazing
Right.
stuff. I'm gonna watch this back for sure.
Yeah.
So where then will people be able to like learn more about this? Do you have anything that they can learn more on their own? Is it
Yeah,
just the full-fledged
absolutely.
agency? Like what's the setup?
Yeah, so again, we have our agency at setupmyads.com. It's a done with you digital agency. This is what we teach all of our business owners, what I just shared with you, so they can understand this stuff. Because again, it's constantly changing. So, I teach all the modules inside. So basically they'd be able to go through the information, get with an account manager. We help them set everything up. They can jump on calls. Literally every single day they can get on a call with their account manager.
Wow.
And then every week I do live group Zoom calls with all the business owners, and I get to look at their ads and consult with them.
Super cool.
Yeah,
Right on.
so it's pretty cool.
That's awesome. So one thing that I promise everybody is that they can have some sort of actionable item that they can do the next 48 hours that will put them forward in their marketing strategy. So what can you help our lovely
Awesome.
viewers / listeners
Yeah,
with?
so I purposely didn't think of an answer because I
Cool.
wanted it to
Okay.
be spur of the moment.
Yeah.
And here's my spur of the moment answer. So number one, we all have a database of something. So in my opinion, the most powerful pixel, and what a pixel is a little piece of code that you can place on your website so you can retarget individuals around the web and target them on other platforms. So what I encourage you to do is make sure you get a page view pixel of your website, make sure that it's on your main website. And what's cool about it is that what you can do specifically on Facebook is that pixel, once you put it on, you can set it up to where it will go back and track people who in the past have hit your site. So even though it wasn't on now, you put it on there today, it'll track those individuals and then simply retarget them. Instant money. Number two, I'm gonna give a second one because it kind of goes along with it. Put the page pixel. Number one most powerful pixel is the page view pixel. Target your website viewers. And number two would be to upload your list of customers or leads and follow them around as well into that. I know people have said that before, but it's always an afterthought because people go, oh, I don't want to do that. But I'm telling you, if you've got a list of leads or contacts and you just simply upload those into social media and retarget them, it's going to be your best, most profitable list right now that you can start making money immediately. And that will get you over the hump when you're advertising to have that belief that it actually works.
That's so great because people are so hyper-focused on like new audiences and trying to gain like new attention. It's like, why not hit warm leads like that have already expressed an interest?
Absolutely.
It's like the easiest, most like overlooked thing that I've done so far.
Everybody, the best marketers in the world don't do this. Like I'm telling you, they don't think about it and it goes back to, I'll leave you with this because I think this is really something that I think about every day. And Sean Stevenson, you know who Sean Stevenson is? He's a little guy, the gentle giant. He's like
yes. Okay, right.
He was speaking at an event, and he was saying, if you're in the ocean, and we're looking at this awesome view, you guys can't see it, of the bay, and let's say we're in the ocean and we're way out at sea, and the ocean, unfortunately, the boat goes down, and let's say there's thousands of people swimming for their life. Terrible thought, but let's just play the game.
Yeah.
They send a helicopter out to save you. The helicopter can only save 100 people, but there's 1,000 people drowning. Who do they save? I'm gonna ask you, who do they save?
I don't know.
All right, so what the helicopter does is they swim out about 100 feet or 100 yards away, and they save the people that are swimming towards them.
Interesting.
All right, so
Okay.
the analogy for your business is we always tend to focus on everybody else that's not paying attention instead of the people that are actually swimming towards you.
Yeah.
I know people that turn and stop ads that were running for went live and there was 2 people live, but it was great content, and they got embarrassed because only 2 people were watching it live and it didn't have like 25, and they turned it off. Those are 25 people. Like imagine if you're in a room right now and 25 people were interested in like what you had to say.
Yeah.
But we get caught up so much in social media and the hype that we forget about like even 5 people that are interested. Even this one-on-one conversation can turn into all kinds of amazing things. So page view pixels and website clicks, and uploading your custom audiences, or I should say specifically your list, your leads, is doing that. It's paying attention to people that are swimming towards you.
I love that. That's awesome. I think that, like you said, in social media, people get wrapped up in just like the mass numbers.
Right.
And like you said, like, and I had said this at one point, I was like, if everybody, even in your little city, wanted to do business with you, there's no, I mean, I hope you could, but I mean, ultimately, generally, there's not really much way you could do that.
Right.
So pay attention to like the smaller numbers. That's
Absolutely.
so awesome. I love that takeaway. Awesome. All right, Vince, so this has been great. How can people like see your stuff, get a hold of you?
Yeah, pretty much anywhere on the internet. Vince Reed Live is pretty much my handle. So Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, Vince Reed Live.
All those places?
Yep, all those social media sites out there.
Right on. Well, good luck at your talk.
Awesome.
Go crush it. I know you will.
I will do my best.
That's awesome. Thank you so much. And guys, go put those pixels on and start loading up your list. Do it. Have a great week. We'll see you guys next time.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for checking out this episode of the Content Coalition. Now, whether you're listening or watching, make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and to whatever platform you're listening to it on, because you're not going to want to miss out on the incredible things that I'm learning with these amazing content marketing pros. So make sure you subscribe, and we will talk to you next week.